Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another recap of the 2026 FIFA World Cup here on Phil's Corner. I am your host, Phil, as ever, as always, and we're just going to be looking back at some of the wild action that we had in yesterday's games. We had um, Norway taking on England, Argentina taking on the Swiss, and the semifinals have been set for the first time in the competition's history. We have all four teams being in FIFA's top four ranking. So 1 to 4, they're all in the final stages of this competition. It is going to be quite the matches, the two matches that were set for. There was some interesting games yesterday, of course. Um, Controversial games, very much so. And we're just gonna dive into that real quick. And first and foremost, we're gonna start with the game which kicked us off on Saturday. That was England versus Norway. Now, the Norwegians came into the game buoyant. You know, they've been playing some good football. Their main man has been on form, Erling Haaland, that is, and he played well. He definitely played well in the competition in the match. He did his best as the game was going on. He just wasn't found enough times. Not for me, a striker not getting the ball and stuff is not the hallmark of playing poorly. He just wasn't. He just didn't affect the game as much. But that did not stop Norway from taking the lead. It was an even first half, and the lead was taken through Schlaudrup, a cross come shot. Harry Kane lost the ball. He thought he was fouled. The ball was clearly won back by the Norwegians. Uh, so that goal stood. A cross come shot, which would beat Pickford. Pickford, for some reason, took his hand away from the cross, and I don't know why he did that. Because of he did that, he ended up like losing track of the ball completely, and it went over him into the back of the net. From a Norway goal kick, the ball appeared to have touched the cable and dropped down to the ground. I believe FIFA then put out a statement afterwards that the ball did not make a sound on the chip sensor, hence it did not touch um the cable, so the goal should not have been disallowed, and it wasn't disallowed. Jude Bellingham scored, capitalized from that. He's been they're England's best player in this competition outside of Harry Kane. I think, but Bellingham definitely has been the best player overall. Kane has been good, of course, but there's only really one, the DR Congo game when he took over. Bellingham, even in that Congo game, I thought Bellingham was fantastic for the most part and did a lot for the team. Yeah, but Jude Bellingham carrying England on the soldiers, scoring in to equalize it, and he would then score in extra time. But before he got there, Norway thought they should have been in the lead. They scored in the second half, but Haaland did shove his new teammate Anderson at City to the ground before the corner was taken because of this, and then before the goal was scored, and because he was directly involved in the goal, which was scored, play had to be taken back, and the corner had to be retaken because since it was a foul before the kick was taken, the corner was retaken, it's not a free kick. Yeah, it's tough for the Norwegians. They were definitely the better team for the majority of the second half, but then they just ran out of gas. Went to extra time. A shot from I think Morgan Rogers was spilled by the Norwegian goalkeeper Nyland, and yeah, there to pounce upon it was Jude Bellingham. So the theme of the of the quarterfinals is keepers were unable to hold on to shots and just spilling the ball. England will advance and they shall face the winners of Switzerland versus Argentina, which of course just happened to be Argentina. It was a good start before the Argentines, as Alexis McAllister did score the opening goal for them, but I think Switzerland were definitely on top for majority of the game. They kept on attacking the Argentinian goal, and they did look like a better team for the majority of the game. They just couldn't find an equalizer until Dan Doy of Nottingham Forest equalized. It was a well-worked move from the Swiss, and the 6-7 minute he put them back level. And honestly, from there, it just looked like there was going to be one team to win the game until a very, very poor mistake. by Brillon Bolo. He dived, and then because as he was diving, Paredes was booked for Argentina, and then it was referred to VAR, and mistaken identity was pulled through, and because of that, it was said to be a yellow card. And the second yellow card for Brillon Bolo, he protested and he started crying. Say what you want, man. Maybe the ref shouldn't have given the card, especially it wasn't the card to begin with. That's for sure. But maybe he shouldn't have given the card to Mbolo. I don't understand what he was doing, man. It was such a bad. I don't know why he would do that. Hopefully, players would get wise and stop diving in games. But that was poor. That was really poor from him. Inexcusable as well. And yeah, I I like the narrative that Argentina are cheaters or whatever, but he had to go. I'm sorry. There's no if buts maybes. He had to go for that. It was definitely a second yellow. Went to extra time after that. Julian Alvarez with a beautiful curler to the top corner, and then Lautaro Martinez scored off of the break. That seems to be his calling card. Um, it was tough, man. The red card killed the game. Both games, yes, they went to extra time, by the way. The red card killed the game. It shouldn't have been that way for the. It shouldn't have been that way for the Swiss. They could have probably gone on to win the game. They were in the front foot. They had them, but as Argentina shelled themselves, they were poor, and but it just wasn't. It couldn't come up for them. May I just say, you know what? Argentina are some is a jammy team, bro. Like this is probably the most unlikable team of the competition. I don't care what it's not even like I'm a Ronaldo fan. Ronaldo over Messi for me. It's not even about being a Ronaldo fan or being anti-Messi. The team as a whole. I mean, the fans are rubbish. Racist. Anyway, not gonna swear. I don't swear. I'm not gonna say anything other than the fact that they have been openly shown to be racist, not just in this competition to like I Show Speed and others, but just as a culture. It has been seen out there. If I am wrong, I apologize, but I would love to be proven wrong about it. A quick search up will show you all that you have to know. And of course, it's not everyone. I'm not all people are bad. I'm not gonna say the entire country needs to be put down the gutter because of this, but ultimately, I just find Argentina to be super unlikable. They were everyone's golden child. Everyone loved them in Qatar, but now, you ever die the hero, live long enough to see yourself become the villain. They're definitely the villain of the piece right now. Not even like in an endearing way. They're just like ugly, man. They're ugly as a team, and anyway, that's all I have to say about them, about that game, and we shall see what happens for the semifinals. The matches have been set. Spain versus France at what's that stadium called? Home of the Cowboys, Dallas. In Dallas, AT&T as well at 3 p.m. And the next day, that's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, England, Argentina, 3 p.m. as well in Atlanta, home of the Falcons, Mercedes-Benz Arena. Those are the last two games. Those two tournaments shall host, but we are gonna talk about those games more in our next State of the World Cup tomorrow. Our penultimate one. But until then, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so very much for joining me yet again. It has been a pleasure chatting with y'all today. Do not forget, please, to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you would. But until next time, folks, have a wonderful rest of the day. God bless you. Until next time.